All right, let's get into weekend whip around. We talked about Atlanta United. Jarrett, the piece of news that came out yesterday involving Vicente Reyes. It looks like Vicente Reyes might be turning into a Canary, and we mean that in the sense that he could be heading to Norwich.
Yeah, because good for him, man. Like, oh my God, I'm getting heartburn discussing this crap because I don't want to hear about about an away sort of failure. This, the other. Like you got a stacked room of goalkeepers right now coming anyway. Like you have Justin Garces, who's just now healthy, he's got a path now. As Brad Guzan is nearing the end of his career, Ray's got an opportunity to go play for a championship team that might get promoted this year.
Mm-hmm.
I think he was crazy if he didn't take the chance.
Yes, exactly. So it looks like
good on him.
Looks like the price tag might be a little under $2 million is what we're seeing. So we'll see what that looks like there. Atlanta United and Red Bulls 739. It's a part of the 730 brigade for our friends at Apple TV. And looking at juiceboxes, juiceboxes had obviously home favorite with Red Bulls, but it wasn't all that pronounced. It was a minus 106 for Red Bulls, Nick. Draws a plus 260. Atlanta United a plus 276. But by all indications, it looks like you're getting Almada and Yakamakis back together, obviously training. No Sosa. Abram is training. Quick turn from what we saw in the midweek with the comeback Cardiac Kids with the 2-2 draw with NYCFC. When you look at this one with Red Bulls, what do you see?
I see a draw. Atlanta at the moment seems to be a bit on the susceptible to the kind of attack that Red Bulls will bring. So I think that's the unfortunate thing in the moment, but I do think it's going to be an exciting game from Atlanta. I don't know. My gambling heart is telling me draw.
Jarrett, when you look at this one, obviously we can look at the match from a couple of weeks ago. John Tolkien out for international duty. Corey Burke out for international duty. Had a boatload of absences because of injury in the midweek. It should be a challenge for Red Bulls. But I think Atlanta United has a book at least to look at the attack here with Gigi and Thiago Almada available.
You got the guys that you want to have in your starting lineup. You got a blueprint of how you're going to deal with it in the first game. You're going to invite pressure. Sometimes you're going to play through it. Sometimes you can play over it. Sometimes you're going to play around it. Sometimes you're going to hit diagonals. You're going to invite that pressure to find the space behind. It's going to be weird because both these teams had to rescue draws in the second half of their games. And look, Red Bulls doesn't have to travel, so they have that advantage. But if you can get up on them, Atlanta's shown you, at the very least, against Red Bulls, that they can defend it. They can hold serve against them. And maybe it's personal. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But well, I think it's really with this. If Atlanta is going to beat the Red Bulls, it's like you need to really be careful with your back passes. That is where Atlanta's getting into trouble against. From what I've seen so far, is that you have a back pass that's a bit errant. Instead of passing to a foot, you're trying to pass toward a man, and in those moments, that's where Red Bulls they like to pounce. And it really plays into what they try to do. If you can invite pressure, hold the ball, and draw them to you, send the ball forward, and then immediately cut backwards. So if you have this sort of counter motion happening where either you go backwards and then immediately forwards, or forwards and immediately backwards, you can catch Red Bulls in space. Because the way that the system works is that, we all remember from our U8 soccer days, whenever you have the ball, what does the coach yell? Get wide, spread out. And that's what Red Bulls thrive on, right? That space between. If instead, when you have the ball, you play like you're in a phone booth and you move quick, tight passes, not in tremendous amounts of space, what happens is that the Red Bulls will get tired out faster because they're running in circles trying to keep up. And Atlanta can do that really well. Atlanta can absorb that pressure, I think, better than just about anybody in the league, as long as they don't get into sloppy back passes. If they start doing sloppy back passes, then it becomes a 50-50 game, and that's where we get our draw. And you don't want that to happen. So clean up the back passes, play like you're in a phone booth, like Jarrett said, invite that pressure in, and do quick counter motions, and you can blow this thing open early.
You also have the idea of also win your second balls. It burned you on the first goal the other night when it's a weird throw in. It bounces around, eventually falls to Keaton Parks. Parks is able to play it wide and get a 1v1 for Pereira. You have to win your second balls. There is no, well, we won some of them. No, you need to win. You need to win any dangerous one. There are going to be second balls off of long balls that aren't going to be as dangerous, where it's chased down in the corner. Red Bulls recovers it, but their back is to the attacking half and all their momentum is chasing it down, and they're just going to have to play it straight back anyway. That's a different animal than, you want to win. You want to win your headers. You also desperately need to win your second balls. This is where a guy like Juan Hoparata is going to be valuable. This is where a guy like, I think you take Aiden McFadden with you, because if it gets late in the game, I need someone to win an aerial duel. Aiden McFadden is one of the most underrated at doing it around, even though I know he is not a first team starter. He's not getting penciled into the 11. But I want guys with those skill sets, because especially later in the game, if Red Bulls is going to start yeeting the ball around, I need people who are going to get up and win those.
I mean, Aiden McFadden can jump out of the gym. I mean, that is the bottom line with Aiden McFadden. So to have a guy like that late, if you need to make sure that you can lock a win down or something like that, or if you need him to help you out in gaining second balls and winning headers, Aiden McFadden could be a guy that could really help you out in that regard. So looking forward to it.